what am I writing these stuff down in? I am using my beautiful, what I call my workbook of shadows. When I showed this in a previous video, I'll put the link down below, quite a few people said, "Whoa, why have you got a new book of shadows? Don't understand. Didn't you just have a book of shadows?" And they were quite confused. I have a book of shadows, which is my big black chunky heavy book, which I adore. It is best for writing only and things that I can do in pen. It doesn't take drawing or sketches or anything like that very well, and I love to draw and sketch. That's my thing. That's what I do. So I'm using my big one for stuff that doesn't change, basically. Correspondences. I've got information about my familiars. You've seen my book, you know the kind of stuff I've got in there. This is my workbook. This is more of a journal. So this is where I collect snippets of things that I've got a reading list back here of things that I want to read, which is just in kind of bullet journal form. I've got stuff that I've made notes on, correspondence stuff that I've made notes on. That one is empty at the moment. This one has all sorts of lists. I'm not going to show you in depth what I've got in here because it's private. I've got, you know, various spells and things that I've collected. No, I haven't done an awful lot of work in this one yet. I've been too sick. I've had 3 months of being sick, and I don't tend to do any of my spiritual work when I'm sick. I don't like to have bad juju energy around my stuff. So I haven't really done anything with this yet other than set it up, but now that I'm all back to it, I shall be playing with this. This is by Janelle Imyatan over at Janelli Fish on Etsy. Her store is currently closed. This is a bespoke book that she actually drew my tattoos, or her versions of my tattoos, all over it. Isn't it beautiful? I love this so much. Oh, it smells amazing. Her Etsy is currently closed because she's got a lot of orders to fulfill and she's doing new colour swatches, but I believe she's got a new Etsy opening very soon. I will try and find out when it is and let you know. So if you want to order something from her, she does the most beautiful books, and this is a Midori Traveller's Notebook style. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books in here at the moment. I can actually fit, I think I got 9 in there altogether. Oh, I love this book. It's just beautiful. I want to work in it. So this is where I will put thoughts and gather things that I haven't tested yet, or write spells, or, you know, work through my year in a day and thoughts about that and things like that. Make notes on what I read. And then once that's been filtered and diluted, I suppose you could call this lecture notes, and then once I've filtered it down into what I want to keep, then those study notes, if you like, will go into my big journal in some form or another. But, you know, I'm always looking at new things, I'm trying new things, I'm always reading new things, so I think I'll probably use this one more than the other one as the year goes on. And finally, yes, we're nearly done, in line with my thing of not wanting my stuff to have bad juju, I've been hanging on to these since November because I wanted to do an unboxing and then I got sick, and I don't usually use my tarot cards when I'm sick unless I'm doing it for a reading for myself because I'm sick and I want some advice or whatever, clarity, whatever. It's just a me thing. It's not particularly a witch thing. I just don't like bad juju around my stuff, okay? I don't like it to pick up bad energy. I suppose I have used them. I've used my Rider-Waite deck and then cleansed it. But I did that because I knew there was a new moon coming up. So this is the Tarot of the Wild Unknown. And this is just beautiful. I have not opened it or anything, so this is my first, this is an unboxing, if you like, all I've done is taken off the cling wrap because it was sealed. The cards look like this. Look at those drawings. That's why I bought this deck. First and foremost, that's why I bought it, because it's beautiful. It's not really a traditional tarot deck. It's got some interesting correspondences, like the Magician has a chalice and a sword and a wand and a pentacle and an infinity symbol, and it's a leopard or cheetah, a feline. You know, there's all sorts of really interesting imagery going on. If you look up The Wild Unknown on Instagram, you'll find her actual account, and she's got all sorts of different stuff in there. But I purchased the cards, which are new out of the box. Oh, this is nice. So there's the introduction. Tells you the different suits, major arcana. And oh, a little brief, that's good, a little brief guide. So swords, number 10, rock bottom, melodrama, of course. 10 of Swords, one of my favourites. I'm not a big 10 of Swords fan, gotta be said. That's another story though. Actually, did Kelly do a thing on the 10 of Swords? I have a feeling that Kelly Maddox over on the Four Queens has done a thing about the 10 of Swords. It's not one of her favourite cards either. He's a bit of a double-edged sword, the 10. Got to be a bit careful with him. You can cut your own fingers off and stab yourself in the foot. So here's my cards. They're held together with a plastic bit. Let's take that off. And here they are. Look at these. Aren't they beautiful? I adore this artwork. If I was going to draw a tarot deck, this is what I would want it to look like. I love her use of black and white and subtle colour to indicate, you know, different aspects. Look at that. Look at the death card. Isn't he beautiful? Oh. Incredible work. Incredible. The Hanged Man is an upside down bat. I love that. There's a lot of use of animal symbolism in this one. So the Hermit is a tortoise. Justice, the black and white cat. So the Hierophant, of course, is the raven. Very Poe. So I'm really looking forward to learning this deck. I really am. It's just so beautiful and so inspiring. I mean, the Rider-Waite deck, I like the pictures because you can read the pictures. The way I read tarot, I don't follow specific correspondences. I read the pictures, if that makes sense. So, it's hard to explain. Like, on here it says the 10 of Swords, melodrama. Yes, I would immediately look at the 10 of Swords and go, oh, this is going to be a nuisance. You know, but how it's going to be a nuisance can vary. Here's a nuisance card. But it can be a nuisance in context. So it might be a good nuisance or a bad nuisance. So it might just be something that throws you off. But in a good way, because it interrupts your train of thought, and it's just a minor inconvenience because you have to go and deal with something, but it's a good thing that you have to deal with it. So I would look at it in terms of reading the picture in relation to everything else. And one of my favourite ways of doing it is to look at, you know, how do the cards interact. For instance, if I drew the Father of Pentacles and the Mother of Pentacles, what's going on here? The baby is snuggled up to the mother is alert and protective, the father is standing by, watching, but separate. He's separate. He's radiating energy, and he's very, his strength is prominent. So he's, yeah, all his colour and aura is in his horns, his strength, his vitality, his, you know, he is the man of the house. He's radiating this dark masculine energy. Whereas the woman, the female counterpart, she's got the placid, the calm lines, the blues and the greens and the purples of healing and nurturing and soothing. She's radiating white light. She's very alert. She's on the lookout. She's very protective. But at the same time, she's cuddling her baby. So she's got a soft and softer side as well as her alert, protective side. What is the interaction between these two cards? Is father looking at her? Well, no, actually, if you look at his gaze, he's looking at his baby. Yeah? So he is, in this context, obviously it depends on your spread, they could be up here or whatever, but in this context I would say that he is wanting to radiate and imbue and his strength and will and character and forthrightness onto his child. So he is wishing the best for his child as it sleeps. He wants them to grow up to be strong and independent, and that's he's kind of wishing for that for his child. Whereas the mother's attention is not on the child, the mother's attention is on you. The mother's attention is very squarely looking you in the face saying, you come near my baby and I will do you damage. That's the message in that card. It's loud and clear. I may look calm and placid, but if you cross my baby, you are in for a world of hurt. And normally if you drew these cards, you'd look at them and say, well, the Father of Pentacles is a strong, protective, virile type, so he will be out there, you know, he's the breadwinner. He's out there forging away a life for his family while mother is at home caring for and nurturing the children. And that is true, but in the context of these cards, that's a completely different interaction. He's not out there forging ahead. He's sitting at home looking at his child in amazement and saying, this is how I want you to grow up. This is what I want to be able to give to you. As a father, I want to give this to you. And mum, who would normally be calm and placid and providing the homely, level-headed balance that a child needs, is actually looking outwards and going, don't even think about it. So that's how I use cards. I don't ascribe to this is what this is what the little bit of paper tells me these cards are. That's what I'm going to use it as. Let's see what it says on here for those. So Pentacles, the father and the mother. So the father is steady and entrepreneurial, out there being a breadwinner. And the mother is domestic and loving, sitting at home looking after the kids. There you go, see? But that's how it's interpreted on here. If you just took that, that's a very general way of looking at it. And it is what the cards mean. But I look at the pictures in relation to each other, which gives a whole different story a lot of the time. Because, you know, sometimes what you see is not really what's going on. Sometimes you have to dig a bit deeper and uncover the truth by looking at lots of different aspects. I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to teach tarot, I'm just showing you how I interpret cards because it's apparently unusual. Although I'm a big fan of Kelly Maddox, and if you go over on her channel you'll see that she does a very similar thing. She likes to pick pairs of cards and work with them together. In fact, she's doing a Tea and Tarot series at the moment, which is about creativity, renewal and growth and all that kind of stuff, and picking 2 cards to work with. You should go and see it, it's very good. Oh, look at that, the Ten of Swords. Do you see what I mean? Melodrama. Does that not just scream melodrama? A bull with a sword through its eye sockets in the dark, and all these angry swords standing round, looking on, going, "Oh, look at this! Oh, fight, 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 fight!" Sapping your strength, sapping your will to live. That's the Ten of Swords. Yeah. Hi, baby. Not one of my favourite cards to pull. Anyway. That is the full deck. If you want a full view look at the deck, Kelly Maddox, that's a beautiful card. I love that. Two of Cups. Just a beautiful card. Wow. That is a piece of art in itself. I may have to scan that to turn it into a Filofax cover at some point. For myself, of course, not for somebody else. Copyright, people. But that is the kind of thing that I really like. I might do that for February, actually. On a completely different, separate, unrelated thing. I'm doing the Happiness Project. Happiness Project for February is about relationships. Two of Chalices. Love and couples. And all that jazz. So I might... This is about the same ratio as a Filofax cover. So I might scan that in and, you know, resize it onto a Filofax thing and have that as my dashboard. I like that idea. Ooh, I could do one at the beginning of each month, couldn't I? Find a card at the beginning of each month that embodies the month. Look at the Father of Wands. Oh! I have the power! Oh, he's beautiful. Incredible. Lots of snakes in this section. It's another very dark card. Ten of Wands. Take me out of darkness into light, please. Follow the light. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, amazing. If you want to look closer at the cards, if you go to Tarot of the Wild Unknown site, I believe she has, or she used to have, a words. She has a list of all the pictures, all the cards. You can see the cards on her website. Honestly. Brain, engage, sometime today. And then, of course, I had to get the book to go with it, which is, you know, a more in-depth version of the little bit of paper you get with it. But it does talk about, you know, if you want to learn tarot, I don't know, would I suggest? It's a very unusual deck, but if you're very kind of Earth Woman, Wild Child kind of thing, and you want to learn tarot, this might be a good deck to do it with. You're not going to learn the traditional correspondences and things like that, but, you know, it's got things like reverse cards and last thoughts and different spreads and all that kind of stuff, and how to ask a question, what the different cards mean. So you've got an illustration of the card in black and white. There's no colour in these. That's a shame. I would have liked to have seen these in colour. I might have to go in with some colour pencils and add the colours, because I use the colours as part of the actual, you know, reference of what's going on. I know that one's got prisms in it. I may have to go in, this is beautiful thick paper, this would take watercolour easily, so I might have to go in with my watercolours or some colour pencils and just put in the colours where they are, because that, he doesn't have anywhere near as much oomph as he does when that lightning strike is all different colours. Look at the difference. He's just kind of, oh, that's a pretty snake. You add the colour and suddenly he's like, boom! Hear me roar, you know? Just doesn't have the same oomph. He's no longer receiving cosmic power from the universe that's energising him and going and buzzing through him, and yeah, you know, that awesome creative energetic power that you get when you've got a new project coming. You know, I'm sitting here waiting for inspiration and bam, there it is, kind of thing. But without his colour, it's just kind of pretty snake the stick, you know. So I'm a bit disappointed with the book. It would have been nice to have it in colour, the same as the cards. But, you know, a little bit of watercolour can fix that, like I said. What are these black pages? Oh, that's the separation pages. These owls, aren't they beautiful? Birds and feathers. Ten of Swords. What does it say? Ten of Swords, ruin, rock bottom and melodrama. When the Ten of Swords appears, you've finally hit rock bottom. No, I'm sorry. When the Ten of Swords appears, you've hit rock bottom and somebody hands you a shovel. That's how bad the Ten of Swords is. You've let others walk all over you while you play the victim. Is it possible that you love the backstabbing and drama too much to move forward without it? If not for drama, what would you focus on? It's time to find a way out. It's basically a wake-up call. It's a good card because it gives you a wake-up call and says, whoa, stop that boat. But it's not a card you want to get in a reading because it means that you've brought it on yourself, basically. Yeah, I'm loving these. Loving it. So that's a quick look at the Tarot of the Wild Unknown. Like I say, I will try and find Kelly's review of it because she's done a whole like half-hour long review of the whole deck and how it works and what she thinks of it. It was fascinating. It cost me not as much as I thought, actually. It was about $28 or something for this deck, and then I got the book special, but it was in the sale. It was in her New Year sale. It worked out, I basically got the book for 1/3 of the price that it would normally be by buying the two together. But I expected it to come from America and then have to pay shipping fees and handling fees and import duty and everything else, and I didn't. It was shipped from somewhere in the UK, so she has domestic shipping. I'm pretty impressed with that. So her site is set up American, but in the UK, if you purchase it, you only pay domestic shipping, and mine arrived in 2 days. So there you go, that's my new tarot I'm going to play with. Well, it's not new, but I haven't used it yet since I had it, because I've been sick. So it's time to start pulling this out and learning some stuff. This is my heavy reading. This is my nighttime wind down reading because I like to read stuff, have it sink in and kind of wake up the next morning with a renewed idea of what's going on. This is my quick in the morning set me up for the day reading, and this is just something that I'll get through at some point at some time because I quite like it. I will talk to you next week about the magazines that I've got because this video is already horrendously long and I have a couple of different ones that I want to show you. So there you go. If you're looking for some reading material, that might help you on your way. I will be back next week. Bye.